The train bucked like a dying animal, a mechanical death rattle that sent a tremor through the very bones of the world. Arthur grabbed the girl's hand, his knuckles white, and pulled her along the narrow corridor of the passenger car. "Go, go, go!" He yelled over the screech of twisting metal and the sickening digital whine of reality fraying at the edges. The world outside the windows was a blur of corrupted data, a pixelated storm where trees and sky dissolved into static. Behind them, the door to the next car didn't just open, it imploded. A shower of metallic splinters and shattered glass erupted inwards, and through the mangled frame, a nightmare unfolded. From the swirling chaos of paper and ink, the editor emerged. It was a grotesque colossus, its body a whirlwind of shredded manuscript pages, its limbs thick cords of glistening black ink. A single monstrous eye, the color of a blood-red correction mark, burned with cold, analytical fury. A voice like 1,000 resentful whispers amplified into a roar echoed through the car. A sound that felt like it was tearing at the source code of his soul. Marked for deletion. Its weapon was a quill, impossibly large and tipped with the same crimson as its eye. It swung the monstrous nib, and the impact didn't just break the seats, it shattered them, erasing them from existence in a glitch of red light and vaporized upholstery. Panic was a cold fire in Arthur's chest. He and the girl scrambled over luggage and debris, their desperate sprint a frantic rhythm against the train's chaotic lurching. The editor was a force of nature, a hurricane of literary rage. It didn't bother with doors. It simply smashed through the walls between cars, each impact a thunderclap that shook the train to its foundations. Shards of metal and wood flew like shrapnel. With every car they passed, its roar grew louder, a promise of annihilation closing in. Arthur could feel its presence like a physical weight, a suffocating pressure that threatened to crush his will to run. Suddenly, the girl stopped. She wrenched her hand from his, her face pale but set with a terrifying resolve. She turned to face the advancing horror. "Go, Arthur," she screamed, her voice cutting through the din. "You have to get to the engine!" Before he could protest, she ripped a sheaf of pages from the small, leather-bound notebook she always carried. The pages glowed with a soft golden light as she flung them forward. They wrapped around the editor like living chains, binding its inky limbs and silencing its roar with a muffled, furious groan. The monster thrashed, and Arthur saw the golden light flicker. He hesitated for only a second, his heart tearing in two before her final desperate scream spurred him on. "Run!" The sound was cut short, and he didn't dare look back. He burst into the final vestibule, the cold steel of the engine room door a stark finality. It was locked, heavy, and impassable. The thundering crashes behind him told him the girl's sacrifice had bought him mere seconds. The editor was free. Panic gave way to a sliver of pure, focused desperation. He slammed his palm against the door, closing his eyes and pouring every ounce of his will, his very essence, into a single, focused thought. A key. "I am the key." A searing heat bloomed in his chest and shot down his arm. When he opened his eyes, his hand was no longer flesh, but a shimmering, intricate key of golden light. He plunged it into the lock. As the tumblers clicked and the heavy door swung open, the wall behind him exploded. Arthur dove head first into the blinding white light of the engine room, the crimson tip of the editor's quill missing him by a hair's breadth.